Courageous Beauties. It's Kylie.
And Jamie.
And we're here live on Friday around 3. We actually made it mostly on time today.
Wow,
I'm impressed with us. We're doing good. So we're here to answer a Curious Cat question, and a very interesting one. I wasn't quite sure how to start answering it, so let's have fun.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
What are some signs that he sees me as just a friend, and what are some signs that he could possibly like me?
As Jamie was saying earlier, when you already have a friendship with somebody, sometimes it's a lot harder to tell, and I think especially because relationships and friendships, they're not the same as they used to be.
Right.
They're approached differently.
There's a lot of blurred lines, there's a lot of overcrossing. It's not just labeled categories anymore.
This makes answering the question a little complicated. Now, I was telling Jamie, I think that there are some signs, and because that's how the question is phrased, what are some signs that he could be interested in just a friendship or something more? I think we can talk about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If he might be interested in something more, things I might be looking for, and again, not true of every situation, every relationship, but it could be, I'd be watching to see if he's looking to spend time alone with you, or a lot of time with just you, or texting you a lot, or messaging you a lot. Like, that doesn't always mean I want more in a relationship, but it is one of the things I'd look for.
Yeah. He might want to know what is important to you for your future. He might want to know more specifically what your morals are, what your values are. And that might be true of a friendship too, but if someone that's looking for you to be in their future in a more serious way, they're going to want to know more specific, like, concrete things about you.
You also might find him flirting more with you as opposed to other people that you guys know in the friend group. And I know that one is kind of hard to tell too, because, like, I know when I was growing up that all the girls accused me of being a flirt, and I'm telling you, I was not. I just enjoyed the company of the guys. They were more fun. There was no drama with them, so I went and hung out with them. And so I was always accused of being a flirt. I don't feel like I was flirting, but I know that sometimes people's perception of our behavior can be different than what we're trying to portray. So what you may perceive as flirting may not actually be flirting, and what he's trying to do as flirting, you might just take as being friendly, right? But, I mean, what does flirting kind of look like sometimes? Emphasis on sometimes.
Pushing you around, making jokes, teasing you, right?
Right.
Singling you out.
Complimenting you. Making, like, playing around with the ideas of being in a relationship.
Right, suggesting it subtly.
So when are we gonna go for coffee?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Or, like, they're just very interested in the way that they're talking with you. Like, funny enough, I watched a YouTube video a while back. I don't remember how I came across it, but it was about a guy giving tips for how to flirt with somebody. And one of his tips was to look for opportunities to have, like, inconspicuous touch in the conversation. So they would be like, no way, like, tell me more about that, or something. Like, they would just grab a hand or, like, touch unthreatening parts of the body, and because that touch kind of helps promote fondness between the people. So, like, I guess if there's a little more poking and prodding and teasing, sorry. I love you, but not like that. Sorry, it's gonna be okay. Anyway. So flirting can look like that, but it doesn't always look like that. So I guess those are some of the signs.
Yeah, they might bring up in conversation, like, I care about you, I hope everything's well, like, how was your day? And you might suggest something that's, not going great, like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear. Just, like, being, like, actually, they're really interested in you. They're showing effort and interest in you.
Willing to put time, like, they're willing to sacrifice to spend time with you.
Right.
Those kinds of things. Again, I do think that friendships often do this too.
Oh, yeah.
So, if in doubt, there's two things that you could do. You could first, if you're wanting it to be more, start flirting yourself.
And see what they react.
See how their response is. Start showing interest yourself. Start inviting conversation more. See if, I would just start pursuing it. Make yourself available and see if they act on that. The other thing that you can do, especially if you tend to be someone who likes to be more direct, and I totally get that. I am not that person. Sometimes I have to be, but then I would just straight up ask them, hey, I just get the feeling that, you know, there's a little more going on here. Like, where are you at right now? And, you know, even if you're not interested, that's probably a good thing to do, just to check where the status of that relationship is.
Right.
And especially if you're not wanting it to be more, just being like, hey, I just want to check where we're at right now. I'm getting the sense that there's a lot of attention toward me, and I just want you to know that I don't need any more than just like what we've got going on here in the group. You know, and being honest about that. I know there are some people who have those conversations very easily. Again, I'm not one of them. If I feel like somebody is being if I feel like I'm seeing signs of him being more interested than I am, I start to back off. I start to not make myself as available to that person. I try not to respond to their messages too much because I want to discourage them from talking to me. And sometimes it's just uncomfortable, or it's not necessary for me to have a straight up conversation with them. Sometimes it just kind of peters off from there.
And you can just leave it alone and see what happens, because if he does really like you and really wants a relationship with you, eventually he'll probably bring up the conversation himself. And so eventually you'll know. Or he doesn't like you that much and he'll forget about it. But if it's important to you,
I think that's the key.
The best thing to do is to bring it up. So that you know for sure.
That's a good point. If it's important to you, then do something to find out what's it matters. But if you're just kind of curious, you're just kind of trying to figure out who's interested and who you might want to invest flirting into, then the signs that we talked about.
Pay attention to flirting, pay attention to how much time they want to spend with you.
Right. And also pay attention if you start flirting and you're getting back signals like back off. Respect it.
Yeah, that's a big important thing to talk about.
So I think that answers our question.
Yeah.
This is actually been kind of fun. We had this conversation in group a couple weeks back, and they were just like, y'all, you just need to have this straight up conversation. And so this is good. So we thank you, whoever submitted that question. And remember, you can always submit your anonymous questions on curiouscat.me/courageousbeauty. And we will answer your questions when we jump on live on Instagram. So till next Friday, 3:15-ish, whenever we happen to get on.